clarified प्रभु हरे कृष्ण जय हो हरे कृष्ण श्रीमद् भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. गौर प्रेमानंदे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमस्पृशाय सत्य ग्रेस अपेचन भक्तिदान स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमस्पृशाय सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिदान सरस्वती महाराज की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled duties, all glories to the assembled duties, all glories to the assembled duties, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. I go Premanand. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtapraishvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10 Chapter 58 verse 48 and 49. Rajapatesha duhito. Is that the one? No. Which one? Tata. Okay, 47, 48, 49. That 47, that's 47. 47. The verse is 47. Yeah, it's 47 actually because verse written is 48 there. Tata prita sutam raja. Tatha prita sutam raja. Dado Krishnaya Vishmita. Dado Krishnaya Vishmita. Tan Pratyagnahat Bhagavan. Tam Pratyagrahanat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Tata Prita Sutam Rajam. Dado Krishnaya Vishmitam. Tam Pratyagrahnat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Tata Prita Vishtam Rajam. Dado Krishnaya Vishmitam. Tatham Pratyagnat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Tata Prita Sutam Rajam. Dadau Krishnaya Vishmitam. Tam Pratyagrahnat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Tata Prita Sutam Raja. Dadau Krishnaya Vishmitam. Tam Pratyagrahnat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. Tatha Pritam Sutaraja. Dadau Krishnaya Vishmitam. Tam Pratyagrahnat Bhagavan. Vidhivat Sadrasham Prabhu. What would mean? Tata, then. Prita, pleased. Sutam, his daughter. Raja, the king. Dadau, gave. Krishnaya, to Krishna. Vishmita, astonished. Tam she pratyagrahnat accepted. Bhagavan, the Supreme Person, Vidivat, in accordance with Vedic prescriptions. Shadrasham, compatible. Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Translation purpose. King Nagnajit, pleased and astonished, presented his daughter to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, accepted this suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. The word Shadrasham indicates that the lovely princess was a fitting bride for the Lord because she possessed wonderful transcendental qualities that complemented his, as Srila Jiva Goswami points out. The word Vishmita indicates that King Nagnajit was certainly astonished at the many extraordinary events suddenly taking place in his life. 48. Rajapatescha duhitu Krishnam labdhva priyam pati labhire pramanandam yatascha paramat utsavam. The king's wives felt the greatest ecstasy upon attaining Lord Krishna as the dear husband of the royal princess, and a mood of great festivity arose. शङ्खभेरी अनाकनेदुर् गीतावध्याद्विजयशे नरनार्या प्रमुदिता सुवासास्रक् अलङ्कृता. Conch shells, horns, and drums resounded along with vocal and instrumental music, and the sounds of brahmanas invoking blessings. The joyful men and women addressed themselves with fine clothing and garlands. Hare Krishna. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sahudutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sam वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पवनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. जय श्री प्रभुपाद. श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 10 chapter 58 verse 47, 48 and 49. Krishna marries 5 princes. So in this verse it says, King Nagnajit, pleased and astonished, presented his daughter to Lord Krishna. So we can see this whole pastimes actually. The Lord is pleased, his devotee is pleased, the Lord is offering respects to his devotees, the devotees are offering respects to the Lord. It's wonderful pastimes, giving gift, giving his daughter to the king. This whole pastime is about this, inquiring about the devotee, the devotees inquiring about, hearing about Lord, glorifying Lord. So this whole pastimes are Srimad Bhagavatam, like spiritual world is 3/4, material world is 1/4. To material world compared to spiritual, very small actually. our all the scriptures, to understand the scriptures. These teachings are how we can apply in our life, uh, to our best understanding the scriptures. So this particularly pastimes of Krishna marries five princes, we can see here. Then King Ajit, pleased and astonished, presented his daughter to Lord Krishna, so giving gifts to Krishna, or giving daughter, like here is here. The Supreme Person God had accepted his little bride in the proper Vedic fashion. So this Vedic standard of marriage, in human society there is marriage. In animal society there is not marriage, because according to Vedic tradition there is regulation you have to follow. You can marry a wife and then can have um, sense gratification. Out of marriage is considered sinful, like it's like that considered. So to become a representative of God is not a so shifting, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Je kare achar, na kare prachar. Je kare na prachar, na kare achar." Means one who preaches, he does not practice, but one who practices but does not preaches. Both should go together. Teacher can be, uh, he should teach by his own example, like that. So one should make his life perfect and preach this message of Krishna consciousness to others. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. So he says, Supreme Person accepted his suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. The Supreme Lord accepted this suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. So Vedic understanding is to follow the principles to have a nice progeny, nice generation. Uh, so the Lord is giving an example here from this teaching. But in Kali Yuga, everything is topsy turvy. Everything is the ashramas, brahmacharya ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyasi ashram. They don't. Um, Everything is messed up, like, right. uh, so, so So Kali Yuga is the name chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says 10, avoid 10 offenses, follow regular principles to end what? In brief. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord. So anybody who has dedicated his life, you say devotee. It doesn't matter if you say um, I have a guru, or whatever, Shiksha Guru, whatever, is blaspheme the devotees. Any devotees is considered a devotee. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. So every one is part and parcel of God. Actually, in the highest stage, one should offer respect even to an ant, like it. So deep teachings of Vedic teachings are there. Yeah. The king, as pleased and astonished, presented his Lord daughter to Lord Krishna. The Supreme Person God had accepted his suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. So there's a nice story of Shakshi Gopal. Uh, Shakshi Gopal, the Lord himself comes to please his devotee. So nice. The Lord is pleased with his devotee, like especially when an old man, elderly person, and a young Brahmana, they went to Vrindavan for a holy pilgrimage. And it was Lord's desire that, so that young Brahmana was serving the old Brahmana, elder Brahmana, because he was old. And he got the mercy of the Lord. And the old Brahmana told that I'll be giving my daughter to you. But the old Brahmana, elderly Brahmana, he was a very wealthy person, extraordinary wealthy person. And this young Brahmana was very poor. He was not in a from a good this. Generally, marriage is whenever there's marriage from higher society, you cannot marry from a person means who's not so wealthy, like that. So the young Brahmana said, no, I'm not so qualified. Your family member what accept it. Well, I'm the elderly person of this house. So it was, but it was Lord desire, because serving the Lord's devotee, that's the key to spiritual life. uh, Serving the devotee of the Lord is more pleased than by serving the Lord, but serving his devotees, the Lord is very pleased in this way. So similarly, here the king Nagnachit, he had kept uh, Kun- yeah, he says that I'll go on to this purport first. The word Satrishim indicate that the lovely princess was a fitting bride for the Lord because she possessed wonderful transcendental qualities that complemented his. As Srila Jiva Goswami points out, the word Vishmita indicates that King Nagidit was certainly astonished at the many extraordinary events suddenly taking place in his life. So she had all the good qualities. It said like when you find diamond in a very dirty place, also you have to pick up like that. Even if the girl is, but she has all good qualities, one should accept as an suitable this candidate. So here, King Swayze felt the greatest anxiety upon meeting Lord Krishna as the dear husband of the royal princess, and a mood of great festivity arose. Everybody was happy. Conch shells, horns and drums resounded along with vocal and instrumental music and the sounds of Brahmana invoking blessings. The joyful men and women adorned themselves with fine clothing and garlands. We can see here all they were dressed themselves very nicely. They were very happy. They were very joyful. The king's wives and the family members, princes. That was a great festivity. And all this auspicious sounds, conch shells. Actually, when blowing the conch shells is considered auspicious. Conch shell, blowing of conch shell. In Kurukshetra, when the Kauravas were blowing the conch shells and the Pandavas were blowing the conch shells, different types of conch shells are mentioned. Conch shells, horns, and drums resounded along with vocal and instrumental music, and the sounds of Brahmana invoking blessings. So the Brahmana's blessings, joyful men and women adorned themselves with fine clothing and garlands. Yes. Brahmana's blessings we need. Brahmana, sounds of Brahmanas invoking blessings, the joyful men and women adorn themselves with fine clothing and garlands. Hare Krishna. So this few things here it says King Najat pleased and presented his daughter, first of the King Nagnajit, the father of Satya, handed his daughter to Supreme Person and shared all the good qualities. And according to Vedic tradition, the marriage was performed. And everybody, the kings, the wives, and everybody, they were very ecstatic upon accepting Krishna as husband and mood. There was a festivity and different types of musicals and Brahmana's blessing, joyfully adorned themselves with fine clothing and garlands. So, fine clothing and garlands. When we approach the Lord, they generally, when in the deity worship, we always take bath and go. Yeah. We don't eat with the same cloth also. Uh, so much rules and regulations are there. Um, Srila Prabhupada also said that if I give all this, then they cannot follow this everything. So much rules and regulations. But he gave little basic things like deity worship. Everything should be in time. Everything should be very first class offered to the Lord. Uh, and that's nice. These things are there. So even if so much restrictions are there, you go to restroom also, you cannot go with the same cloth. So much clean life when you approach the Lord. Similarly, here we can see conch shells, horns, and drums sound along with vocal and instrument music and sounds of Brahmanas invoking blessings. The joyful men and women adorn themselves with fine clothing and garlands. Everybody's Brahmanas blessings. So this is very pure process, pure. So according to Vedic tradition means purity is that, then the things will become more pure like everything. So approach. So when you approach the pure, you become pure like that. But these are the basic things like so these are the wonderful pastimes where we can see because according if you don't follow the Vedic tradition, then if you are impure, then how can you approach the pure Lord like that? To approach the Lord, you have to become very pure. If you are not following the Vedic traditions, like it says, if the marriage was according to the Vedic fashion like that. It's beautiful science of Krishna consciousness. It's so deep. It is so high stage. It is. King Najat pleased and Eston presented his daughter to Lord Krishna. The Supreme Personality accepted his suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. We can go on. So this is this wonderful marriage. Different. The Krishna is marrying Kalindi, the daughter of sun god first, and then Mitravinda is the second, and the third Satya, and then Bhadra and Lakshmana. So this is Satya's marriage. Satya, there was a condition that five vicious bulls, um, who can control these five vicious bulls, they will be the proper candidate to marry Satya. This was a condition, and Krishna, easily like a toy, he controlled them. So this beginning starts with okay, very King Krishna. Okay, fine. Yeah, Krishna went to Indraprastha to meet the Pandavas. The Pandavas had come to the city. They were in incognito. They were, and actually, Krishna and Balram knew that the Pandavas were alive, where others, everyone thought they were not. They were not alive. They were burned in the house of lac, because the Duryodhan was very envious of the Pandavas. He was always planning them to kill them, but it's all his plans was baffled, like, because Krishna was on that side. So we can see this Pandavas and Kauravas. The Kauravas, Duryodhan had everything. He had power, wealth, all positions, whereas the Pandavas were very simple life. Their life was very simple. They were totally absorbed in Krishna. They were Krishna consciousness 24/7. Actually, devotee means always absorbed in Krishna. That's what a devotee's business is. He has no other engagement. He's always thinking of Krishna, is glorifying Krishna. That is the sign of a devotee, actually. So that's why he says the first offense, 10 offenses to blast on the devotees who dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. This is very. Yeah. So we can see this is the supreme opulent personal Godhead. Krishna went to Indraprastha and went to meet the Pandavas. Because Pandavas had arrived, uh, the Pandavas appeared in public. So the Duryodhan and the others thought they were burnt by Duryodhan in the house of lac, but Krishna and Balram knew they were alive. So Krishna is going to meet the Pandavas. So this chapter is about how we can learn many things. How a Lord is approaching the devotee first of all. Pandavas is very pleased because their whole Krishna is only their whole life and soul. They knew nothing else like that. And Lord was not alone. Lord came along with his associates. Um, So when the Pandavas saw Mukunda had arrived, all the heroic sons of Prita, they all stood up at once, like the senses responding to the return of life air. Second thing here is when we approach the Lord, especially in the artis, also we have to stand up. Like when we come to the deities, we offer obeisances, we offer our respectful obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, then we go to Gaurnitai, Kishore Kishori, Jagannath Baldev Goswami. We seek the mercy of Guru and then Krishna, like that. We need the mercy of spiritual master. Okay, so here we can see this Pandavas. First, it says supreme opulent person in Godhead. Then it goes on to say um, the Lord Mukunda. Krishna's name, another name is Mukunda. All of the Pandavas, they at once got up, these heroic sons of Prita, like senses responding to the return of life air. So, like the senses responding to the return of. When a person is not conscious, is unconscious, the senses do not function. But when this is a very nice metaphor, poetic, yes. But when a person is when his consciousness comes to life, his all the senses also become awakened, like that. So seeing Mukunda, these heroic sons, they all stood up. The example is given of senses responding to the life of air. See, one has to, in this also, this verse, we see King Nagit is very pleased. The king's wives are all pleased. They're all in a festive mood. uh, and the marriage was performed. Everybody's performed. That's what Krishna consciousness is: festivals, chanting, dancing, feasting. That's what, very simple it is: chant, dance, and be happy. Chant, dance, and be happy. So when we dance in the kirtan, when we exhaust ourselves, everything, if one is in very anxiety, when he is very distressed, then he should come and chant and dance. Totally chant, chant, dance, chant, dance. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So but just dancing, 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 chanting, chanting, he will forget all his anxiety, all his distress. So nice process. Very simplified. So he says, when the Pandavas saw that Mukunda had arrived, those heroic sons of I was very crazy in dancing when I was young. Actually, I dance almost as Hare Krishna, Hare. Oh my God! And the Morris saw Lord Hare, those heroic sons of all stood up at once, like the senses responding to the return of the life air. Heroic sons of all stood up at once, like senses responding to the return of the life air. Then the heroes embraced Lord Achyuta, and touch of his body freed them of sin. Looking at his affectionate smiling face, they were overwhelmed with joy. So this another point is seeing the Lord smile, all your miseries go. Second, third thing is that. First it says Lord is approaching the devotee, and the Pandavas are welcoming in the Lord. So this all teachings like that, spiritual world, how to approach the spiritual world, what's the position of a devotee, what's the position of the Lord. We can take from these teachings like actually. When the Pandavas said that Lord Mukunda, those erections of Prita all stood up and like sensor response. The heroes embraced Lord Achyuta and touch of his body freed them of sin. Actually, the Pandavas were not sinful. How can they become sinful? But because they saw, they were not in touch with the Lord, but when they saw the Lord, all their moroseness gone. They became very joyful again. And because in separation they were in miseries actually. But when they saw the Lord, the heroes embraced Lord Achyuta, and the touch of his body freed them of sin. Looking at his affectionate, smiling face, they were overwhelmed with joy, seeing a smiling face. So the different parts of the body is like the Krishna's here. He says affection, looking at his affectionate, smiling face. So one has to become free from material contamination. One has to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. One has to see the beauty of the lotus feet of the Lord. One has to be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. One should glorify Lord. Always think of Krishna. We can see from the past times of Vidura. He was going to Mathura, from Mathura to Vrindavan to take Krishna. He was always absorbed in Krishna. He was glorifying Krishna's all bodily features. So here it says, the heroes embraced Lord Achyuta, and the touch of his body freed them of sin. Looking at his affectionate, smiling face, they were overwhelmed with joy. They became very joyful upon seeing the Lord. After the Lord bowed down at the feet of Yudhishthira and Bhima and firmly embraced Arjuna, accepted obeisances from the twin brothers Nakula and Sahadeva. The third is this, offering obeisances. First is the Lord is pleased to see his devotees, and the devotee is also pleased to see the Lord, and how their reciprocation is there. And how by touching the feet, touching the Lord, or touching the devotee, that's also mentioned in the scriptures, uh, we can become purified. After the Lord bowed down at the feet of Yudhishthira and Bhima firmly embraced Arjuna, accepted obeisance from the twin brothers Nakula and Sahadeva. So according to different status, the elders, like, because they were in one sense cousin brothers. So on an external level, Lord Krishna bowed down to Bhima and Yudhishthira. To Arjuna he embraced, and Nakula and Sahadev, they offered obeisance to Lord Krishna. Uh, so in the purport, in the verses, it's not an offense to consider that to offer obeisance to a senior uh, brother, senior god brother, senior devotee is not an sinful. So this is the etiquette of Vaishnavas. Like actually, it should come from the heart like this. This was the tradition, like in our Krishna consciousness. This is the tradition of Vaishnavism. Like devotees should offer respects to the devotees. Then this loving feeling is there. Then like that. After the Lord bowed down at the feet of Yudhishthira and Bhima, firmly embraced Arjuna, accepted obeisance from the twin brothers Nakula and Sahadeva. Faultless Draupadi, the Pandavas, newly married wives, slowly and somewhat, yeah, slowly that things are going actually. It said when you see a sannyasi, one should offer obeisances. Otherwise, say it's an offense like that. We can understand from this teaching like how the Lord is approaching the devotees. The Lord devotees are very reciprocating, and the Lord is embracing the devotees and is offering different according to status, different types of gestures. Then Draupadi is approaching. She is very shy and she's newly married. She's approaching Krishna, and Krishna is on the exalted seat. Then Krishna is she offers her respects to Krishna. Then Satyaki, the who were associates of the Lord, they were also given nice place to sit and they were also honored. So these are the few things we can uh, get from this chapter. First of all, the Lord is approaching the devotees, and the devotees are approaching how they are honoring the Lord, and how the associates of the Lord they are also welcomed and they are given a nice place to sit, and how Draupadi is offering respect. So the nature of woman, she's shy like that. Draupadi's example here, she's newly married and she's shy, she's approaching Krishna, and she's timidly off approaching, faultless, slowly and somewhat timidly approached Lord Krishna and offered obeisances. Satyaki also accepted his seat of honor, and then the associates of the Lord they were given nice seats, they were given honor, and they were given worship. So worshipping the Lord, worshipping his devotee. The Lord went to see his aunt Kyun Kunti. He bowed down to her. She embraced her eyes with great affection, moist eyes. Lord Krishna inquired from her and daughter Draupadi of welfare. And Lord Krishna is inquiring the devotees like that. How is your welfare and everything? How your family members? And then the devotees are inquiring about the Lord, about the welfare. And Kunti Maharani's voice is being choked up, and her tears are coming of cry. And she is remembering all these troubles she had to face because of all Duryodhan and so and so. And but Dhritarashtra. But in all situation, Krishna protected them. Krishna sent his own family members to see Krishna and to seek Kunti. Her protection was there. She was remembering Krishna. She says here, my dear Krishna, our welfare was assured only when you remembered us, your relatives, and gave us protection by sending my brothers to visit us. So remembering Krishna all the time. For your well-wishing friend and the supreme soul of illusion, universe, there is no illusion, us and mine. For Krishna, every samoham sarve bhuteshu. For Krishna, there is no impartial. He sees everybody equally because everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. He doesn't make any distinction. Yes, says. So Kunti Maharani is praying. You are the well-wisher and supreme soul of the universe. He's as the He's the well-wisher and he's the supreme soul of the. There is no illusion of us and them. Yet, even so, residing with the hearts of all, you eradicate the suffering of those who remember you constantly. So Kunti Maharani says, all the suffering goes if we keep Krishna in our mind, because Krishna says this material world is place of miseries. If we keep this material world in our mind, it's naturally miseries. It is there, lamentation is there, because this material world is dukhalyam ashashvatam. So this is the formula how you can become free from miseries, to keep Krishna in our mind. Because many lives we have forgotten Krishna, many of lives we have engaged in sense gratification activities. To remember Krishna is not so easy like that. So here it says, but here it says, my dear, our welfare was sure only when you remember us, give us protection by sending my brother to it. For you are the well wishing friend and supreme soul of the universe. There is never any illusion of us and them. Yet, even so, residing within the hearts of all, you eradicate the suffering of those who remember you constantly. Constantly. Kirtanya. Sada. Kirtanya Sadahari. Constantly remembering Krishna, constantly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. One should hear this sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we think our family, our relatives, our so-called wife, or so and so like that. We, but we don't think of Krishna, or money, how to get money, how to maintain them. So these all thoughts are coming in our mind. Our mind goes to something else, or surrounding around us, or how we associate with that things becomes around mind. How somebody behaves with us, then we think about that person like that. But here it says, um, for you, well, Supreme, there is never. Yet, even so, residing with the hearts of all, because Krishna is within us, you eradicate the suffering of those who remember you constantly. So, you want to become free from this illusion, miseries, then we have to think of Krishna always. Says you eradicate the suffering of those who remember you constantly, 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 constantly. Krishna, 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 Krishna. That's what devotee means. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. King Yudhishthira said, O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done so that we can see you, whom the masters of yogic perfection rarely see. Now it says pious activities. Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying to Lord Krishna, what pious activities may we have done? So there's good activities and bad activities. Both in this material world is based on I and mind. Selfish and selfless. Like when you plant trees, you build hospitals or water. These are all good results. Like suppose one is born in a very extraordinary wealthy person, say Bill Gates or whatever it is. Then he might have done a lot of pious activities. He got that position of material, this like that. But here he says, King Yudhishthira is saying, "O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done, so that we can see you, whom the masters of you perfection and see." So Srila Prabhupada gave this easy process: chanting, distributing prasadam, distributing this knowledge to others. This is the most powerful method to develop our Krishna consciousness, becoming more pleasing to Krishna. Distributing this holy name, distributing the prasad. Krishna, we sing in the Mangalarti, Chatur Vidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadanna Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangam. The spiritual master is pleased. You know. So this is not only that, oh, how are you? You have to ask whether Prabhu, you have taken prasadam, or like come like prasadam. This is the etiquette actually says. Yeah, it's all Supreme Control. Do not know what pious deeds we fools have done so that we can see you whom the masters will perfect that is seen. Um, these things are gone slowly, slowly. Everything is going like offering obeisances, asking for prasadam or something like that. Things are very Kali Yuga is repeating fast, fast. All signs are coming up. King Yudhishthira said, O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done so that we can see you, whom the masters of yogic perfection rarely see. Like Prabhupada says, everything is done properly, all the kirtan is going on nicely. That's the most concern. If you take care of Krishna, we have not other anxieties. Because this material world is a place of anxiety. There will be problems. There will be problems naturally. It's every padam padam yadvi padam. But a devotee's only concern is how to please Krishna, how everything is taken care properly, everything going on time, everything is that's the most important thing. How kirtan is going on, chanting is going on, book distribution, prasadam distribution. This all things are not concerned of somebody will take away, somebody will come here, somebody that. Devotees here we can see. For you are the well-wishing and supreme soul of you. There is never any illusion us, and then even that is also important. But here is important. Here it says, yet, even so, residing in the hearts of you, irrigating the suffering of those who remember you constantly. We keep material things in our mind, and there will be more anxiety like that because that's nature of the material world like that. King Yudhishthira said, O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done so that we can see you, whom the masters of yogic perfection is. Yeah, offering nice food stuff, nice eating. When you eat nice, you become healthy. You can then perform devotional service nicely. If the King Yudhishthira said, O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done, so that we can see you whom the master of yogic perfection rarely see. Requested by the king to stay with them, requested by the king, said, then the Almighty Lord remained happily in Indraprastha. So on the devotees' request, the Lord stays over there during the months. Prabhupada says this temple is Vaikunta actually. In Vaikunta there is so miseries. No Vaikunta, there's no anxiety. Actually, because this formula is given here. How like that? The Lord is saying because the devotees are very pleased by the Lord. The Lord is pleased by the devotees, and they are always remembering Krishna. They are thinking of Krishna. They are serving Krishna, and the Lord is pleased with. And they are offering respects to devotees. Once Arjuna, the slayer of powerful enemies, donned his armor, mounted his chariot, flying the flag of Hanuman, took up his bow and two inexhaustible skewers, went to sport with Lord Krishna in large forest filled with fierce animals. Now Arjuna is going to the forest. Next, first Lord is reciprocating with the devotees. Devotees are reciprocating the Lord, and they are giving nice honor. They are always constantly thinking of Krishna, uh, and all the miseries are gone. And now Arjuna, his chariot, the flag of Hanuman is there. Even in the Kurukshetra battlefield, we can see Krishna's chariot has the flag of Hanuman. This is a good sign here, Hanuman. Wherever Krishna is there, there is all wealth, there is all opulence, there's no scarcity. Once Arjuna, the slayer of powerful and donned his armor, mounted his chariot, flying the flag of Hanuman, took up his bow and two inexhaustible skewers, and went to sport with Lord Krishna in a large forest filled with fierce animals. So there were many types of animals. Arjuna shot all this because generally when the animals they give disturbance to the human beings. So there were different like black deer. Not it was a black deer, not other deer. Rhinoceros, uh, tigers, gawas, rurus, sarabyas, like that, rabbits, porcupines, and Arjuna shot all with his arrows. And then a crew of servants took it to Yudhishthira in a particular time for a sacrifice. So they could give a offering sacrifice, and they could elevate the animal to a higher stage of life. But that type of things are stopped in Kali Yuga because that type of qualified priests are not available in this age. So then Krishna and Arjuna, they are bathing in Yamuna. They are drinking the clear water. So this flowing water is very clean. When the water stays in one place, it becomes stagnant. Same way, the time, if you touch water, flowing water, it cannot stop. Like the water moves, like time also goes fast. You cannot stop like that. Time is very how we utilize our time in this. So water also bathing in the rivers also is considered pure flowing river like that. So yeah, holy rivers like that. And they saw the great was an attractive young girl. So this was Kalindi actually. She was this daughter. So I approached the accepted young who possessed beautifully fine teeth and a lovely face and inquired him from as follows. Arjun said, who are you, O fine waisted lady? Whose daughter are you? Where do you come from? What are you doing? I think you must be looking for a husband. Please explain everything, O beautiful one. Generally, girls they need husband because um, they need always protection. Childhood, their parents take care. Grown up husband takes care. Old age children take care. It's nature's arrangement, never independent like that. Yes. But Srila Prabhupada was very compassionate for everybody. You know, there's nothing like Vedic tradition. We can see Brahmacharya ashram is there, but Prabhupada introduced these things. He was compassionate for everyone like that. So yeah, it says all with protection. See, she says, "I'm the daughter of Sun God. I decide to get my husband." So naturally, there this is that they need a husband like that. They need protection always because they are superior and inferior like that. Naturally, their bodies made. She say, "I'm the daughter of Sun God. I desire to get as my husband the most excellent munificent Lord Vishnu, and to that end, I'm performing severe NSS." So there are different mellows with family relation, friendly, lover, service attitude like this. A different relation we can awaken with our with God Krishna like that. The conjugal love is the topmost. It's the essence of all other relationship here. It says. So she Kalindi is now thinking of, I will accept no husband than the abode of goddess of fortune. May that Mukunda, the supreme shelter of be pleased. So there again Mukunda name is there. I will accept no other husband than the abode of the goddess of fortune. And I will accept no husband other than him, the abode of the goddess of, because Lakshmi is always serving Lord Krishna. She is always in the heart. She say, I will accept no husband other than. Generally, people want Lakshmi; they don't want Narayan. Like Ravan, he's always uh, he wanted Sita, but did not want Ram like that. So generally, in this material world, people want Lakshmi; they don't want Ram like that. He says, she says here, I will accept no husband other than him. So Lakshmi is Chanchal. She doesn't stay his place. So when we worship Lakshmi with Narayan, then she is very. I will accept no husband other than him, the abode of the goddess of fortune. May that Mukunda, the supreme person, the shelter of the helpless, be pleased with me. She want to please Krishna. She only want Krishna, her husband. Krishna is only her this. I am known as Kalindi. I live in mansion. My father built me within the water of Yamuna that I will stay until I meet Lord Achyuta. She makes a firm determination that she will stay in this place because her father, sun god, built this place in Yamuna. He built a very nice mansion, and her only desire was um, Krishna be her husband. Describing Priyanka Sukha said, upon which Lord Krishna at Vishwakaram built them a wonderful and amazing city. The Supreme Lord stayed in the city for some time to please his devotees. On one occasion, Krishna wanted to give Khandava for as a gift to Agni, and so the Lord became Arjuna's chariot. So this is also one nice point. The Lord stayed with them, with the Pandavas, to please his devotees. So we are have fortunate to have Kishore, Kishori, Gaunita, Jagannath, Baldev, Srila Prabhupada. Chicago is a very corner, remote place, uh, right? Very cold place, very tiny coming here. It's winter. It's very austere. The temperature is not good outside. But it's nice when you come to the temple, you see Krishna, all the miseries goes away. We heard about that, constantly remembering Krishna, thinking of Krishna, not this material thing in our mind, because this material world is like that. Thing called so called or whatever, it will kick out everything out of this, because Krishna, if Krishna wanted to make this material world very nice, he would have could have made it, but he made it a place of miseries. Krishna can do anything by his supreme will, right? So Krishna's teachings in Bhagavad Gita, man mana mad bhakto, this is very confidential knowledge. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me always, offer obeisance to me, come to me, and sarva dharman parityagya. This is very confidential knowledge. This is a very, yeah, uh, topmost, surrendering to Krishna. This one life give to Krishna. This one life give to Krishna. Many lives we are given to the illusion. This one life. Here says Prabhupada says. And so upon request, Pandit Lord Krishna had been the supreme master in the city pleased his devotee. On one occasion, Krishna wanted to give Khandava forest as a gift to Agni. So again, here Krishna want to please his devotee. Krishna is more pleased when his devotee is pleased. And so Lord became Arjuna's charioteer. Krishna is taking the chariot, and he want to please Agni Devi. And so Arjuna is going with the horse chariot, and is he is getting a gift from Agni. He gets, because he burns the Khanda forest and gives it to. Then there is a Maya demon. He was saved by Arjuna, and the Maya demon is being pleased with Arjuna. He is building a palace, city hall. Duryodhana would let mistake water for a solid floor. Then Lord Krishna gave leave by Arjuna other elephant and returned to Dwarka. Then Lord is going back to Dwarka. The supremely auspicious Lord then married Kalinda on a day when the season, the lunar and constant, and other hand bodies were all propitious. In this, he brought the greatest pleasure to his devotees. So, on a particular occasion, it says here, very nice occasion. Anything like, when the birth of a child is there, there is astrologer. Astrologer sees, especially in there is astrologer chart. When Parikshit Maharaj was born, all the Vedic the astrologers were called, and then he would say he will be a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he will rule all over the universe like that. So in India, the tradition is there. Astrologer we conduct. The Brahmanas are called. The astrologers are called. You offer, like if for children also, anything you offer to the Lord. We ask for of this mannat. Like in Muslim, this Islam, they say mannat like that. We ask the Lord that, oh, such as such thing I will offer you so and so and so. The Brahmanas, they are given charity like that. And especially here it says astrologer, because astrologer he sees our future, this how this child will be in future. I remember that, the brahmanas or astrologers were coming, this child is particular this age, after time it will be good, after 2023 like that. But I didn't realize I will come to Krishna conscious. The astrologers are thinking right. Hare Krishna. So astrology is there. That's parampara. Discipline is there. Astrology is like that. Supremely auspicious Lord then married Kalinda on a day when the season the Lura sun and all in this way brought the greatest pleasure to devotees. So time thinks everything is considered. Vidya and Anudya shared the throne of Avanti, were followers of Duryodhana. Now it says how man is known by his association, with what association he keeps. So that's why Srila Prabhupada said, Krishna is here. We are giving an opportunity to have people to have darshan of Krishna. So when they see Krishna, Krishna is there, and Krishna is there in His holy name. They become, then they can elevate their life. They can stop this repeated cycle of birth and death. This is very an important thing. So bring more people into Krishna consciousness, bring more people to give a best to them Krishna. It says here Vindhya and Undaya shared the throne. They were followers of Duryodhan, so they did not want their sister to marry to Krishna. So how association spoils everything. Association, we have to keep in good association of devotees. Srila Prabhupada also says that in the scriptures it says that one should not associate with non-devotees like that. Just keep in the association of devotees. So when we do that, we become far away from this. So these are the things when sharp. Then the bulls, five bulls, Vishadavan controls the smell. So so this chapter is there. Then Lord Krishna is marrying all these five things. So on marriage says here, Vedas. Without marriage, Sanskrit is going on. Why this? People may question this, but there is need because Vedas have taken this marriage. Marriage is Vedic. Why would they take to to restrict it? Without marriage, sense gratification unrestricted. It becomes so idea is to restrict. People are accustomed to this habit, and account of this habit, they gradually become implicated with the laws of material nature. Because that's the nature in the material world to engage the propensity that to have intoxication, to have meat. I think this is going on since many lives of time. But these are the restrictions, so they can become. Otherwise, we can like you can liquor example. Liquor you can make at home also. If you keep rice in the water, and then but the government gives restriction, you go to a particular liquor shop and then the restriction is there, the control is there. So it's beautiful science, a lot to go on. We have time, very little, but Krishna consciousness first. So first offense is blasphemy Lord. Anyone that meant your spiritual master is devotee, nobody is devotee. The devotee, the life of devotee is already explained that he is fixed up in God. He has no other business than to think of God, talk of God, preaching of God. He is a devotee. He says the first offense is blasphemy the Lord's devotee. Anyone, it does not matter that your spiritual master is devotee and nobody is devotee. No, the devotee, the life of devotee is already explained that he is fixed up in God. He has no other business than to think of God, talk of God, preaching of God. He is devotee. He says he has no other business, think of God, talk of God, preaching of God. He is a devotee. It does not matter whether he is born in this country or that province or this planet or that planet. Anyone whose life is simply absorbed in Krishna consciousness and thoughts of God, he is devotee. So we should not blaspheme. Our process is better. Your process, this is due to ignorance. This is offense, blaspheme the devotee. So it goes on 10 offenses like that. So pure, to approach the pure, we become pure. This Vedic traditions is. So there are restrictions, Vedic standard, it's marriage in society. So this is meant for purifications, Bhagavad Gita. Sattva Suddhi Abhayam. Any comments, any questions? Yes, this material world, because as long as Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik is there, body means these are there, mind, climate, and other. Nobody is free. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you for your class, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Um, the purpose of Krishna consciousness is to get out of the spiritual world and back to get out of the material world and back to the spiritual world. And then Prabhupada speaks of how it's possible to reach the platform of where our consciousness is actually in the spiritual world, but we're still situated in the material world, and that we can be happy even though our bodies are on planet Earth, but our consciousness is on Krishna, more fixed, and that we can transcend the modes of nature and all these things. I was wondering if you could, um, if you have any thoughts on. It's like every coin has two sides, at least two sides, if not three, four, whatever. But the flip side of the coin of this world is a place of misery and everything. But then for the devotee, one who attains to that level, they don't experience it like
Huh. On Brahmabhuta platform, we come to that stage we have no society. That's why it says it takes many lives. Many lives we have done this process. It's not only lip service. It's otherwise it will not have any effect like that. Suppose like this, in few things we have heard about this: not commit offenses. We have to offer all obeisance to the Lord, offer obeisance, all respect to the devotees. So, how if we are Krishna conscious, we can do that. If we are not Krishna conscious, how we can develop that now? But the Krishna consciousness is the solution to become more Krishna consciousness, to be more Krishna consciousness. So see, according to the scriptures, Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra, we have to refer these things whether I am doing right or I am not doing wrong. So we need the association of advanced devotees, sadhus. We have to always be in touch of sadhus. We have to take the shelter of scriptures, and then I implicate in our life. So that's man mana mad bhakto mad yaji namaskuru. Always think of Krishna, because we keep this material world which is temporary, which is full of miseries, full of lamentation, full of illusion. Then how can we be happy? Because many lives we have done these things. It's not so easy. That is the language of the Mahajanas, Ramanti. They are always, you know, these languages of the Mahajanas. They were always nitya, chanting, dancing, ecstasy. This it's not the conditioned souls. This. So that's why Prabhupada says, do not be surprised how much you've gone, how much stayed back, and that you think. No. So we have to have faith. We have to keep have this firm determination. Krishna consciousness is the only way. What Srila Prabhupada gave, what Krishna gave, that's the only thing. But I have some weakness of heart. Uh, I don't want to surrender myself. I want to be attached to this all these temporary things. So one surrenders. That's the bottom line. Surrender to Krishna. Surrender to Krishna, surrender to a representative of God, a pure representative of God, and follow His instructions. So we have to have that determination, we have to have that conviction. Outside Krishna consciousness, if we think we can be happy, that's a big illusion like that. That's all begins with Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sang, Tata Bhajana Kriya, Tata Anartha Nivriti. So this Anartha are there in our heart that's blocking us in progress towards spiritual life. So because many lives we have done all these things, this block. But in good association, we can overcome these things. In good association like that. If we associate with a drunkard, we get a drunkard. If we associate with a gambler, gambler. Suppose I keep the room clean, out unclean, and other places clean, then naturally the consciousness affect me, right? Um, so we have to be externally clean, also internally clean. That We have to strive for to be more. We have to try. After all, it's our endeavor is there, but it's the mercy of the Lord and His devotees. Then we can strive our best, but it's after all we need their kripa to this. We have to have firm faith, Krishna consciousness. We have to be, we should give our weakness of our heart, we should give up our anarthas, we should become more absorbed in Krishna. We all to always, devotee means always thinking of Krishna, always glorifying Krishna, no other thoughts. But the Maya is so strong. Maya is wants us to go out of track. She tracks us. Maya is also Krishna's energy. We have to bring back to Krishna. Is wherever it goes back, you bring back to thought of Krishna, thought of Krishna. This process of Krishna consciousness, I can. I'm not saying I'm boasting of myself, but when I joined Krishna consciousness, and when I came to Krishna consciousness, and then later uh, I came back to, all Krishna is fulfilling the desires like that. But I see, man, like it says, one person hears stealing is not good, another person sees like that, and years, and another person his heart is unclean. So three persons in a different stage. One hearing, he understands stealing is not good, and another hears still, he goes and then he realizes. Third person, his heart is unclean still. So we have to do that cheto darpana marjanam, cheto darpana. We have to have firm conviction, chanting of Hare Krishna without offenses, and try to chant more and more. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the association of devotees. Chant Hare Krishna with determination. Give up the weakness of the heart. Give up the anarthas. Uh, Purify all. That's the more we are pure, the more we will relish Krishna consciousness. More our anarthas are there, we want, it will block us. So that has to be purified, cleared. And pray. Hare Krishna. Good.
Um, I was appreciating your reading through the chapter and highlight.
Yes. Yeah, we are going to after this, during the pandemic we started it. Hare Krishna, this Bhagavatam, all this Pradyumna, Radharani, Gopis, Akruras, Kamsa, this pastimes, the Pralamba. There's now we are, Krishna is marrying the five princes. So the all teachings are so, in all this there are so much things we can take from this, especially in this offering respect to the Lord, offering respect to the devotees, seeing everybody's part and parcel. So much things are there to be to take this. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
actually
yeah, I understood
comment.
that. Yeah, that's what you appreciated. That's why I recall this thing, because our nature, we forget it. Everything we forget it like that. Every step like that, we forget it like that. Hare Krishna. Jai Srimad Bhagavat Puran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare